Welcome back to Let's Try Roleplay. This is episode 5 of the Great Capital Bake Off. I'm Connor and I'll be playing Thulme, the humane rogue.
I'll be playing Jamez. Wait, no, I am Jamez. And I shall be playing Ibathane, the fabulous Sisivili.
But it didn't mean we all had to do that.
You did.
Look, you know for a fact that it does mean we want to.
You start it, you end it.
I'm Robin, and I'll be playing.
Said it's surprised. Robin?
What you Robin?
And I'm playing Nahai,
Robin.
the tiefling.
Tiefling?
Paladin.
You're, instead of adding A to the end of everything, you just sound surprised when you say each word.
I'm surprised.
I don't know
Playing
how else to do it.
I think we're all surprised.
And I'm Henry, the DM.
This has changed.
Previously. So, myself, Nine and everything got back to our room in the palace and had the pleasure of meeting Alphibasa. He apparently tells some brilliant stories, so I'm super excited to hear if he's managed to take on a Snydra too. Though I highly doubt it, it takes quite a lot to be a hero of River's Edge. After that, we attuned to our new magic items in our robes of fluff and hopping loafers before suiting and booting for our spar with Fyodor. Turns out Fyodor's a bit of a mountain and that he has some truly insane armour. I'm really liking my new rapier and I reckon Nine might be developing a bit of an Ibathane style fire fetish with her new sword too. Ibathane tried out one of his new spells and turned into a frickin' dinosaur, but ultimately Fyodor was just no match for combatants of our calibre. So, all in all, a decent fight. Good to get those stabbing arms flexing once more. I think it's pretty much time to finally get sorted for the Emperor's birthday bash tonight, so I think we're off to ram some of those pre-drinks and then hit the capital.
So yeah, where we left off, you just finished a fight. Tholme and Nine were probably sitting with Raspar and Fyodor up in the gallery, and Ibathane is currently being beaten up by various different people and beating other people up.
You don't know that. I could be
Right?
winning.
Roll just a strength check as a rhino.
As a Triceratops.
Triceratops, that's it.
Do you have the stuff for that, or do you want a monster manual?
I would like a monster manual.
I'll get it off my phone.
Because I can't guarantee I won't be doing this again. 16.
Right, yeah, you're actually doing really well. You're beating. You are currently beating up some. What should we go? What should we say is?
Halfling.
Yeah, you're currently just
Several halflings.
smashing 6 halflings. Some of them are like dangling from your like crest. Like, please, no.
They're dangling on the crest because they're trying to crawl along the horn to get their lost brother who's suddenly like impaled on it.
No, he's not impaled. He's like holding on to it. Like, please let me down. Please let me down. Please let me down. But you're just trying to get him off at this point and inadvertently hitting the other ones out of the way. But it's turning into sort of like a comedy of errors thing. And everyone in the crowd is just like, this is hilarious. Like, you're probably actually getting like no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say you're getting tips, but you're not.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to give you more money for no fucking reason.
Yes!
That's no reason. It's
I flip a destiny point to mean that's not true.
I mean, you could theoretically ask for tips.
Can
If
I
only
use
want
my
some
inspiration to get tips?
No.
Damn!
Cool.
Right. So yeah, but after a short period of time, well, actually about an hour, your polymorph ends, and you suddenly mid halflings climbing all over you pop back into Ibathane. A number of them immediately fall on the floor, but you actually wake up. One's hugging your face. And there's like 2 hanging from either arm.
I'm blind!
Oh, he's turned back. Dave, let go. And Dave just kind of looks down. It's like, I'm I'm sorry. I don't know what took over me.
I cast Fireball into him and then walk off.
He kind of pats you on the head and it's just like, do you actually cast Fireball?
I definitely can. If he pats me on the fucking
roll
head.
roll to hit.
Aww.
I'll roll initiative.
I got a new wand.
You do?
I still have my clothes, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think you're naked because they're not all come off and they were like hanging over your horn.
14.
Fuck, I do.
He will dodge out of the way, but luckily you don't quite hit yourself in the face.
No, I'm not on whilst he's on my face. When he gets up.
He was still on your face then.
Suicide shot myself.
But yeah, he kind of jumps off, and his pals grab him and take him off. And you kind of look up, and Fyodor will shout down, "It's like, good show, Ibothane. But we should probably head back. We have only 3 or so hours, maybe a bit more, until the ball/banquet starts. What do you do?" And he'll like turn to Ibothane and he'll turn to Nine and Tholme and be like, me and Raspar are going to head. We will catch you later. I mean, we'll see you. Maybe go to a ball together. Not like that.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
I'll put my arm up to Rasputin or whatever his name.
Raspar. No, there's Raspar and Fyodor.
I put my arm up to
Russia's greatest love machine.
I put my arm out to like take him by the arm and go rah rah.
I do not understand this. Is this normal for? Is this normal thing for your country? I don't know. I'm
you
very
have
confused.
no idea.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I would guys, I would very much like to go and get into the robe of fluff because I'm not doing too good for health, and I could use a couple of hit die. That's the word.
Hit down.
You nearly said shit die there.
No, I was trying to do a short rest and hit die.
Yeah.
I need a couple of shit.
Right, yeah. You guys can. Well, Ibothane can't, but Tholme and Nine have been sitting down for an hour, so you've basically taken a short rest. So you can just short rest. Ibothane,
I don't need to. I'm at full health.
Yeah, Ibothane's at full health, so he doesn't need to.
Rolling hit. I mean, we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for a while, but
Only 3 years.
we've got so I've got 7 D8s. I can just use a number of those.
Yeah.
Fuck me, we are shit at this.
I've got 7d10.
Listeners, we've literally been playing D&D for nearly 4 years at this point.
9.
Actually, I think as of this month it is 4 years.
9 would like to gesture to her new found Dragonborn companions and Tholme and down to Ibothane as well as he's coming back up, and be like, well, I mean, we could go upstairs, see if they've filled the bar yet, kill some time before the ball. I mean, we ain't got much else to do. There's no point going back into the city. So if you guys wanna...
as you look at as you say the bar to Fyodor, he kind of gets this look in his eyes like, the bar. I did not even consider that. I do not know if you do this in this country, but in Dragonborn kingdoms we do this thing called pre-drinks.
Yes.
But we call them drinks of the before.
We call them.
We call them the first party.
We call them first party. Ibothane knows this. This joke, I tried to come up with a joke. It's going bad.
Yes, first party, but you know you should never go to the toilet in the middle of party because it splits it, and you'll never split the party.
I personally prefer first party rather than third party.
Right, cool. Nothing's fucking
And
working.
of course, in Dragonborn Kingdom, we always go to Mackie D's at the end of night.
I get a kebab as well.
A dwarf kebab.
So how much? What? So short rest over for you two. What'd you get back?
So I'm from 15 to 33 hit points, and I used 3 hit die to get there.
I was 58 and no, was I? No, I was 53 and now I'm 70.
I was a Triceratops.
You
And
were,
now you're
and
a
now
wolf.
you're a blue ceratops.
Oh.
God, the quality of jokes has gone down.
It
in this
really has. Look,
podcast.
look. Genuinely, we've been together for a few hours. All my good jokes have been wasted in the first few hours of chilling, hanging out.
Right, we'll get it back on a good cue. I've decided a name for.
Oh, we're gonna go play pool.
No,
That
That was back on track. Back on track.
I've decided a name for my trousers of random
Oh, it's
items.
good. It's so good.
They're called. I've told the guys this already, but they are called the pantaloons of pointlessness. Although they've not been particularly great so far with the
very good.
fucking
I
sewing needle.
They're fucking aptly named. Like.
Pantaloons of
I am
pointlessness.
very much looking forward to
Is there a
these guys.
refresh rate?
Yes,
Yeah,
once per hour is what I'm going to say.
I can do it once per hour.
Once per hour. So you can do it again now.
Can it be a number of times per day? Just in case I want to do more than one in a combat?
No, fair, yeah. We'll go with... I'm going to roll a d12.
How many charges?
We're going to go with... 10 times a day.
Fuck, that's better.
And
10 charges.
at dawn each day, it regains, shall we
Pockets
say...
get much bigger.
At dawn each day, it regains 1d10 charges. If you take it to 0, it doesn't regain for a week.
Ooh.
Oh. Do you know what?
Dude, I can't be arse writing all
The
that
difference between Tholme and Ibathane is that Tholme went 10. That's fucking loads. Ibathane, not enough.
Not enough.
Need more.
I need more random sewing needles.
Daddy needs a new lampshade.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Is it like Mary Poppins' handbag? Like, can he pull something ridiculously long
Yeah.
out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
I mean, he pulled the sewing needle out, but it's literally just like a normal pocket.
Yeah, but a sewing needle's tiny. It's like this big.
I've been thinking of knitting needles for like 2 weeks.
No, a sewing needle, dude.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
It's just a normal pocket. Yeah, that would fucking hurt.
Oh, it
Ow.
would. Ow.
That would.
Cool, so at sunrise, my pocket's just fucking with more things.
So the three of you head upstairs, as per Nine's suggestion, accompanied by Raspar and Fyodor. And you make your way back upstairs, and when you get up there, you see a number of things. One is Alphabassa sitting in the middle of the room, wearing some beautiful clothing. He's a black dragonborn,
Yes.
and he's wearing some... essentially what kind of looks like silver robes with some purple embroidery going through them.
Sounds very RuPaul's.
It does. It sounds very RuPaul. And he's sitting there nursing what looks to be some sort of whiskey. As you notice that the bar is filled.
Is it out of the skull of a gnome?
No.
Nah, dude, I'm pretty sure.
They're trying to build relations here.
Forgot the gnome.
Specifically with the gnomes and elves.
I just pissed off a whole bunch of halflings.
But yeah, so you go over to the bar, and there's a number of things labelled, just like the standard drinks. There's vodka, Dragonborn vodka.
Ooh.
Yeah, because as you look at the vodka, you see there's two. There's a Dragonborn one, and there's the Empire one. And Alphabas says, pipes up, like, I drink the Dragonborn one if I were you. It is much better than much better than the shit you have here. No offense, I like your whiskey. It's good. Dwarven whiskey, good. But your vodka, no. But as well as that, you have various different things. Dwarven whiskey, you have elven wine. You actually have like dwarven wine, elven whiskey, lots of different things. You have some sort of... if you find it difficult to translate because it's written in gnomish, but from what you can tell, it just says gnome drink.
What?
But as well as that, you have a cabinet which is labelled surprise.
Yeah.
A surprise.
Yeah. Can I open it?
Cool, you open it, and there's a single bottle in there.
What does it say?
Well, there's a single drink in there.
What does it say?
It's not labelled.
How many? Just one.
Just the one.
Just one of them.
Nine has opened this.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, go for it.
Would I roll for smell?
That is a very good point. It's got to be a fucking Constitution saving throw.
It's a it's so you have like a sort of small goblet with a thick brown, slightly fizzy liquid in it.
Brown and fizzy.
Brown and fizzy.
So it's like a lumpy Coke.
Ah.
Coke that's been through a person.
No, it's more like a Guinness.
Goodness.
Oh, okay.
It's like a stout. It's like a dark beer. The smell of it, you get the smell of, you know, the smell when you walk into an old pub and it like smells of like ingrained alcohol
I know it very
in the
well.
fucking foundations. It smells like
spilt
that.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Ooh. Can I have a drink of it?
Yeah, so you drink a little bit, and it's quite like it's almost syrupy because it is quite thick, but it has a nice flavour that actually reminds you of sitting in the pub back in River's Edge with these two drunk fucks.
Oh, I'll pass it to the other guys. Like, let's start the night, and then like just go get changed.
Can you do a DC 13 Constitution save, please?
No. Yes.
What? this nice drink. Like, it reminds me of the pub.
Oh, 21.
Cool. You feel it start. You feel as you think of these happy memories drinking with these two. You almost feel the urge to tell them how much you love them, but you fight that down.
Yes.
And as you take this away, the door closes once again on the surprise box.
I want to try some Dragonborn vodka first.
Okay, try the Dragonborn vodka.
Quick shot of that, and then I'm going to open the mystery box.
Cool. You pour yourself out a thing of Dragonborn vodka. It's so you've had vodka before, and it's usually just like a white liquid. You pour this out.
A white liquid?
Sorry, a clear liquid. You pour the Dragonborn vodka out, and it's almost like it's clear, but it's almost like silvery. Like the way it shines more than a normal vodka would. You pour it out, take a sip, and it's like none of the shit vodka taste that vodka has, and all the apparently supposedly good. I don't like vodka. The supposedly good vodka taste that vodka might have.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can. Yeah, vodka just tastes of.
So it's good.
It's good. It's good. It's smooth and warming.
I have never had Dragonborn vodka before.
Have you not? All three of the Dragonborn are like, what? My friend, you must join us. And like Raspar pulls another one out from somewhere. You do not know where.
That's pretty
Like,
good.
join us. It has less of an effect on our species as other species because we are hardier than they are.
That sounds good. I'm also going to get the drink out of mystery box, and then we should play a game I like called Ring of Fire.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
Ring of Fire, bolt that shit.
Or
Right.
spin the bottle. Not spin the bottle. Can I go get changed out my armour, please?
Gets into the fluffy cloaks.
No, I'm not getting the fluffy coat. I'm getting into my nightwear. I'm getting ready for this.
You have nightwear?
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was imagining you in a nightie for a second.
So you open the Ibathane goes over and opens the mystery box, and magically there's another drink in there. He pulls it out, and this is fucking perfect for Ibathane.
I pull it out, put it down, open the box again. No, I'm joking.
It's actually perfect for Ibathane. He pulls it out, and it's in a sparkling silver and golden goblet.
Fuck yes.
And out of the top, there's a sparkler in it that the second he takes it out, lights and starts to shoot off sparks. There's a small umbrella and a big twirly glass
Fantastic.
glass straw in it. And if he looks at the actual liquid itself, it's a myriad of colours swirling in different with small bubbles that as they pop, glitter goes up into the air.
I shall call this the Ibathane.
And yeah, it's beautiful to look at.
I drink it from the crazy straw.
So Ibathane finds things funny for the next 2 hours. He finds everything funny.
I find everything funny anyway, but I'm gonna roleplay this hard.
How
Do I find inappropriate things funny?
No, just like not if something's like dour. If something's like a downer, you won't find it funny. But like the mildest joke, you're just like, that is really good joke. Like rather than being like,
If I watched a guy get murdered,
no,
Ibathane would kind of find that funny
yeah,
anyway.
but you're still in control of it. But you just find things
Everything
funnier.
funny.
Yeah. How you? It's quite a big thing, so you're going to take quite a while
Yeah.
drinking it.
I'm going to relinquish my control of it a little bit.
Okay.
Cool. Tholme's a man of the people, so Tholme kind of just wants a pint, but then he's going to go into the mystery box. So can I get a good old fashioned pint?
Cool. You have a look, and there's what looks to be quite a good halfling brew. You give it a go. It's quite hoppy. It's good. It's good shit.
It's a good pint of innocent gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Is this where is it brewed in the capital? Or?
No. If you look, it has a small card underneath it that says "Brewed in the Southern Kingdoms."
Oh,
southern province.
So, from Tholme's extensive geography knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
does he know any more about this?
Roll a history check with advantage.
No, we're taking that one then. That's gonna be 16.
Yeah, you actually remember seeing it's this large area, the northernmost part of the southern province, that's largely farmland, and you reckon that the name of the brewery corresponds to a large city there. So yeah, you do know. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's the city itself is called Tinkerton. Because I just thought of that off the top of my head, yeah.
Oh, that's very cute.
And the actual brewery it's Tinkerton's Halfling Brew, is what the thing is called. Just some cheeky wee world building.
I love it. That's really good.
But did you go to the mystery box?
Oh yes.
Calm down, Churchill.
Tholme rates this beer out of 10 a 9.
Ooh.
This is a great beer.
And I know you, friend, you've never given anything higher than an 8.
I'd love. Oh, could we do that at some point? Go through and just make some beers up of like different places.
Yeah, sure thing. I've nearly actually finished the map that I said I'd do like a year ago. So potentially. So you open it up, and once again, there's a pint in there. Perfect for Tholme. He pulls it out, and it's clearly a pint. Got a good head on it, like not too much, not too little. Well poured. But you look at it, and the actual liquid itself is bubbling and blood red.
Oh, that's cool.
It's definitely a red beer, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, I'd love to try a little bit. I turn around to the guys and say, "To the banquet," and we all take a sip.
You take a sip. Can you do a con save for me?
Oh fuck! Natural 20. I don't.
Nice. Can you note down for the next day? You have fire resistance.
Oh.
Fuck. That'll come in helpful.
Because you've got Ibothane in the party.
And what's this drink called?
It is called Roaring Eagle Ale.
Oh, actually, yeah. What did mine and
Ibothane's was called Pixie Piss.
Oh, fuck yes.
And
I could have see if you told me, I could definitely been like, I recognise that from somewhere. And I've got fire resistance for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's sick, actually. Who knew drinks could get you like immunities to stuff? We need to go drinking more often.
Cool. And yeah, no, genuinely, I down it in one.
I hope the Emperor's like, what have you been up to today? I've been drinking pixie piss.
No answer?
Then like, mate, firebolt me. Just fucking go for it. Do it.
It's okay, you told me. I've got fire resistance. Oh, no, you do.
And Nine's was called Drunken Uncle.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Drunken Uncle. What did yours look like again?
That'll be visiting.
Yeah, it was the
Lumpy Coke.
Lumpy Guinness.
Like a thick, dark stout, basically.
Stout, yeah.
So yeah, you have some merriment. How much of the drink does Ibothane drink, and how quickly does he drink it?
As quickly as possible. Because I think I'm being peer pressured into Dragonborn.
All right, yeah. As you finish it, you notice that you were probably sitting down beforehand. You notice that this chair, while comfortable before, has become far more comfortable. It's almost like you're not sitting on anything at all. You look down, you notice you're actually floating, just like an inch off of the ground.
What is this pixie dust?
And you like, as you move around, it's like you're actually touching things. Like things react normally, but you actually can't touch anything physically by forcing yourself towards
floating.
it. You're floating about an inch off the ground.
Guys, I think I'm becoming an actual dragon. At this point, you've probably had. By the time you notice, you probably had a couple Dragonborn vodkas down you, and the other Dragonborn go like, he really cannot hold his vodka. I don't understand. Did he cast the spell? I'm confused.
Do you still have levitate? You didn't know. You've never had
had
levitate, so I'm getting confused with one of the many podcasts.
But yeah, as you're saying this, Alphabasa will walk back over with a nice beer and he'll crack it open.
Oh, the Foley work in this is...
As they say that to me, like holding my liquor, I'm like,
Look, I go downhill fast, but I go all night long. You hear that, Mally? All night long.
Raspar will like lean over to him, like lean over to Thom. It's like, who is Molly?
Mally. I think she's a figment of Ebithane's imagination. He talks about her a lot. I don't know. I can't say. I don't actually. Out of character, I don't think we've met her.
Yes,
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, you have.
Have we?
Yes.
Fuck. I'm still gonna say it's a figment of imagination though.
He'll say, "Oh, I must be lonely being only Dragonborn in this country."
Nah, mate, let's get me.
Ah. Fair enough. Very progressive.
Just lean over to one of the other Dragonborn and goes, "This small man thinks he is Dragonborn."
Yeah, Tholme's gonna
Should
go
we
and
tell him? No, do not tell.
Tholme's gonna go and get into his cloak of fluff and continue nursing his alcoholism.
Do I slide?
No, it's like you have like normal friction on things, and you can actually pick things up, but you're not actually touching them.
Oh god, that's gotta be disgusting.
It's like it's like you've got an aura around you of touch.
Does that apply to my lips when drinking?
Yes.
So am I spilling shit all over? But I can't spill anything on me.
No, because you can feel, but it's
No, but if I pour it onto like what would normally be the edge of my lip, there's a barrier around it now, right?
no, not getting that.
So
deep
some of it
into
will just like flow down a barrier on. Can I spill anything on myself?
Yes.
And the water goes on me.
Yes.
Shit.
Hold on. Does he weigh
Man,
the same
it's
amount?
magic. I haven't thought enough through of this. Like,
Does he weigh the same amount?
yes.
I was gonna say we're gonna try and like throw him around the room. Is he like you're like donkey?
Like,
yeah.
Whoever can't catch everything has to train.
Let's give him like, don't let everything touch the floor. Don't let everything touch the floor.
He like goes like, it's okay, guys. I can't.
See, does Tholme does Tholme know that he's resistant to fire?
Yes.
Does he? Cool.
Yes. How? Don't ask. But he does.
I come back out in my robe of fluff. Oh, is the robe of fluff resistant to fire?
Just to say, resistant means you still take damage.
Oh, does it?
You take
damage.
half.
damage.
Oh fuck! Okay.
You're not immune. You're resistant.
And,
I was gonna like fireball me.
and in this state, I'm not sure I could tell the difference between a fireball and a fireball. So.
fucking frazzled.
But you playing various different games, sharing various different stories, the time passes quite quickly, and it comes to about half an hour before the ball/banquet is due to start, and a familiar, very dour, very depressed face walks in.
Gregor walks in just to find the honoured guest. Shit face. The banquet hasn't started yet, guys.
He comes in and he sees us like, oh, well, I see you have been enjoying the free bar. I hope you tried a number of the mystery drinks. Everyone's different. You'll be able to try a few of them when we go downstairs.
Yes.
Gregor, I'm floating.
Pixie Piss, one of my favourites.
Come on, mate. Go on, Gregor. Go on. Have you had anything yet?
I've had a tipple, but I'm on work.
Oh,
we won't
no,
tell.
come on, we won't tell anybody. Come, have a.
That's a persuasion check if ever I've heard one.
Yes. I got this. Oh, I don't got this.
No, I don't got this either. Right, come on, everything. That's a one. No.
That's a natural one.
God, I'm so.
I'm gonna.
Okay, in trying to persuade him, I go, he's so ugly.
I'm gonna spend one of my fucking luckies
Oh god. I mean,
to re-roll.
I had a 2 with a +6, so
fuck.
an 8.
Okay.
19.
All right. He'll be like, you know what? Even I'm celebrating a bit tonight, so sure.
Katrina!
I'm fucking bouncing through my luckies like no fucking business. He's giving us something really, really shit like resistant to fire damage or something. I really hope that.
Wait, what's the one that you have to roll a thing?
I really hope he gets the donkey piss or whatever it is.
I was going to say, is that goat piss? It's not just goat piss.
So he reaches into the mystery one, pulls out a
We're all like, Gregor.
crystal wine goblet.
Ooh.
with what looks to be a fine red in it that from the top to the bottom becomes a deeper and deeper colour.
That's cool.
And he looks at it as like, I haven't actually had this one before.
I hope it's not one of those ones that
going to
makes
give
you
it a
shit
go.
blood.
He gives it a sip and he's just like, it tastes quite good. It tastes of cherries. Not bad. I have to say I'm quite enjoying this. And he begins to drink some more and just kind of chills out with you guys. It's like we have half an hour. I thought I'd join you beforehand to see how you're doing. Actually, to make sure you're all dressed. So while I am here, could you all make sure you go get dressed into your nice clothes? I refuse to take you downstairs wearing those fucking robes.
So yeah, we all
Would you
go.
prefer I was not wearing it?
Honestly, maybe.
Yeah, okay, so we spend the next a minute, probably takes about 25 minutes to get these fucking
Nah,
things.
they're very, very well designed. It takes you like 5 minutes to get dressed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we get changed.
What about the
dressed.
condition we're in?
Yeah, even then. Fabian knew what condition you were going to be in at this ball. So
But they magic, you just sort of stand and they just like come onto you like
that,
fucking Wallace
that
and
costs
Gromit.
extra, dude. Yeah. But you will come back out dressed in your finery. And Gregor is sitting there with the Dragonborn, who have all during this period gone and gotten dressed.
Because we were all naked. No.
And they're sitting there, but you actually notice Gregor's about halfway through this wine by now, and very slowly you notice his eyebrows and his hair and the slight stubble he has all begins to change colour into a bright, vibrant red.
No one tell him.
Oh, nobody tell him. No one tell him.
And you actually also notice his features actually become like his dour face, like and big jowls. They actually begin to shrink, and his jaw becomes more chiseled, and his nose changes color and seems to unbreak almost. And he actually. He kind of becomes a bit of a hunk, to be honest. This drink gives him a fairly substantial bonus to charisma. So.
The thing is that everything will find this hilarious.
Yeah, you will.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I'm being affected by the person life.
Oh, brilliant. Right.
What drink did he drink?
It is called
If he was to make up a name on the spot.
Red Ribbons Run Red.
We should say we're using a like a D100 list of drinks with all magical effects and all cool effects and stuff.
I think it was I saw it originally, I think, on Reddit, so you'll be able to find it if you just look it up. It's good. It's good.
We'll post it on our Facebook or something when we actually release it.
We need to stop making promises like this.
No,
One of episodes I've listened back to and be like, James, we said we'd do this.
And then I do it. I do some of it.
What is the reaction to my fabulous, and their
Heinous.
outfit?
It's not a bad reaction. Gregor looks up and he's like, I must say it's kind of what I expected. And so
I'm gonna like this guy.
The Dragonborn are all wearing various different relatively similar clothing. They are fine, and they have elements of being fairly ostentatious. Obviously, Alphabassa's wearing those silver robes with the purple embroidery. The Raspar is wearing. It's almost like Fabian has tried to mimic what they normally wear. So he's wearing sort of almost similar, so like leather clothing, but it's made up into lots of different patches which all overlap each other, almost like the actual plates of his armor. But it's quite tight fitting and shows off like his fairly muscular build. And Fyodor is wearing a completely black leather harness, yeah.
Strap on.
No, like black leather. What do you call it?
Gimp
Like
suit.
doublet with completely sleeveless, obviously, which has golden embroidery through parts of it that seems to mimic the actual pattern of his scales going into the black of his clothes.
That's really cool.
That's fucking sick.
Gregor himself is wearing a smarter version of his normal guard uniform, well pressed, well ironed. His very, very shiny boots, like you can actually see yourselves in them.
Is he wearing all of his medals?
He's wearing 6 medals.
What are your medals for, Gregor? Tell me your stories.
They are. This is quite a long story for most of them. This one was.
We've got nowhere else to be.
We literally have about 20 minutes. This one here, the big one, and he points towards like a big silver one. He's just like, this was for defending a nearby town from goblin attack. It was me and 2 trainees. The 2 trainees ran away, and I held off about 50 goblins by myself. For like 20 minutes or so before backup arrived. But yeah.
Gregor is so brave, guys. Tell us more. What is this one?
That's
I point at the silver penis shaped one.
That's for winning the big dick competition. No, I'm kidding. No.
And then Alpha Bassa's like, I challenge you.
I challenge you to a duel.
Flops on the table. Oh, fuck. Flop like,
why?
Table literally breaks in half.
Why?
We're like, whoa.
Right, back to reality. There goes gravity.
I can't touch the ground.
What's the Dragonborn's reaction to our outfit?
They like it. Alpha Bassa looks at all 3 of you and he's just like, they are. This is an interesting country. I'll have many stories. Is this some sort of fashion?
it is now, mate.
Very well, trendsetters. I see.
We are trailblazers.
And the other 2 just kind of look the 3 of you up and down like, not bad. I like it.
Like, I've gone for a perfectly normal choice. These 2 look like fucking idiots.
Yeah, what 9 is wearing is more similar to what the 3 Dragonborn are wearing.
Hey.
But yeah, Gregor will stand up, completely
Naked.
No. Why? I pause at the worst times. Will stand up, all of his hair completely bright red, and I'm not talking like ginger red. I'm talking like the color of like
A red dragon.
a Coke can.
Ferrari red.
Ferrari red, yeah.
Wow.
And he as he does so, he sees a mirror and he's just like, "That I was not. I look good.
You're
Wow.
on fire.
I should I should drink more of that. Although I don't know where to get it from, and it'd probably be very expensive, so probably not.
But
he'll
from that cupboard are free, mate. So.
He'll no, it's for you. It comes out of the budget for the air. The drinks that come out of that cupboard are for the budget, which I have to sort out.
So one last before we go.
Yeah, definitely. Can I get one more before I go?
Yeah, sure.
Can we have another one for the road? Yeah. Mm-hmm. How easy would it be to pull his trousers down? I need to know.
If you open it, you get another of the same drink.
Oh, interesting.
What did I get
I
again?
just realised.
Oh,
No, I need to know
I'm
about
just
the.
like super fucking resistant to fire.
It won't. None of your effects will double up.
Oh, that's fucking shit.
All of us have the same drink. Again?
If you open it again, it gives you the same drink.
Oh, okay. I just want to clarify. I wanted to know if the colour changed, like whether the drapes match the curtains, the carpet matches the curtains, but not whether the big dick thing was true.
Sure. You
I mean, win-win, but
it's just the fact that you're having to defend yourself on this.
Yep.
Right. So Greg will, as I say, he stands up and is like, we should probably head downstairs. We've got about 15 minutes, and if we leave now, we'll be fashionably late.
Hello and welcome to the middle bit. I'm afraid it's just me today. Robin is actually next door, but she is currently dying of the cold. You might just be able to hear a cough every 3 or 4 seconds, and maybe a sneeze, maybe a blowing nose, because she's... Honestly, I'm just staying far away from her if I can. But yeah, I've had this cold as well. I'm pretty much coming out the other end of it now, which means I guess I won't get it again, but I'm sort of trying to avoid it anyway. But yes, other thing is, this is being recorded on my phone, so not on our usual microphone, so sorry if it sounds utterly shocking. But, I've been locked out of the El Terpi headquarters at the moment because I stupidly left my keys at my parents' house. So I will be getting those back at some point. But ah well. So yes, just me for this middle bit, I'm afraid. What do I want to talk about? So yeah, Great Capital Bake Off. Hope you're enjoying it so far. It's been some mental stuff happening so far. It was very sort of loosey goosey in terms of recording and what we decided to do. Henry made it very sort of open plan for us, and we took full advantage of it. So really excited that we've all got some new magic items as well. That's a lot of fun. I love getting magic items and then sort of really making them your own as a character. But yes, it's actually been quite difficult trying to get stuff edited and whatnot recently. It's all been James recently, just because my laptop packed in a few weeks ago and only just now started to really get it back up and sorted and get all the software and whatnot that I use for recording downloaded onto it. So this one's going to be all me, so let's see whether it actually makes it out on time. I don't know yet. We shall see. But yeah, what else is happening? Going over to James's tonight to watch the 4th episode of The Mandalorian, which we're really, really enjoying so far. But, if there's near listening, then we're totally in America and have this totally legally. We're totally not streaming it somewhere, but, regardless, The Mandalorian, if you're able to watch it, and you have been, I hope you're enjoying it. If not, then look forward to it coming out in your country, because it is damn good. Also super stoked for The Rise of Skywalker, which is now how many days away? Not many. 20? Between 20 and 30? Is it the 19th it comes out or something like that? Can't remember. But yeah, really excited for that. I think it's going to be good. I really do. Because I love J.J. Abrams, and one thing we can guarantee is that we're going to get a lot of fan service. And both me and James just love fan service in Star Wars. So I think it's going to be good. But yeah, I'm just going to try and keep this one quite short this week because I don't really have a lot to talk about and I'd rather just get you back to the episode. So, quick charity shout out. I'm going to do a social bite again this week just because it's really important at this time of year. It's so freaking cold out there. I think it was -4 when I was walking around last night. So, God, imagine sleeping out, in an alleyway in that temperature. It's not good. So, what you can do is give some money to Social Bite, or even just spread the word about Social Bite, who are a homeless charity in Scotland, who do, they have cafes and that you can go and buy your own food and then pay some money forward to give a meal to a homeless person. They're trying to put homeless people into sustainable housing, all sorts of things like that. And if you're not in Scotland and you can't give money to Social Bite, well, I mean, you still can, but, if you want to see the effects in your town, then there'll loads and loads of homeless charities wherever you are in the world, and it's really worth it. So many of these people are not, it's through no fault of their own, really, that they become homeless. A lot of it's mental health issues, a lot of it's, ex-military people. It's awful that these people end up in the street, and quite frankly, nobody deserves to be spending, their time out in the cold and, -4 degrees on a night like last night. So, yeah, do your bit. Right, I'm going to let you get back to the episode. This might be the shortest middle bit we've ever done. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to let you guys get back to the episode because I'm sure you'd rather listen to that than just listen to me just whittering on. So, yes, enjoy, and I shall see you later.
Follow me, and you follow him through the palace. You actually run into various different people, all wearing fine clothes. You seem to be heading towards what you would imagine to be the center of the large palace.
Okay.
I don't know if I've described properly before, but the palace essentially is in the middle of a large circular garden in the direct middle of the city. And it has 4 wings that point out towards the compass points. And each wing comes up of a very large central, almost what looks like, I think what do you call it? Have you ever seen St. Paul's in London? Has a big central dome.
Yes.
That, but many times bigger.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Like huge, with a large square block coming off on each of the compass points,
Okay.
and you guys were in one of these compass points.
Okay,
You seem to be heading towards the middle, and all the corridors are lavished like murals on all the walls, murals of great battles, murals of magical beasts being with knights riding them into battle. Pictures of dragons flying through the sky. You find tapestries. Some have like woven artistry designs into them. Others tell great tales in various different languages.
Sick.
You see like large sculptures, some of beautiful maidens, some of handsome men, others of
Ugly maidens.
others of ugly maidens. Others of ugly men.
Gregor!
And these just the
Before and after.
the previous winners of like Mr. and like Mrs. Capital, Miss Capital, and like
Oh, Capital's Got Talent.
if you actually look at some of the plaques, some of them are like some of the ones of like strong men like in battle poses. It'll say winner of the great games X year on them and things like that, and it'll say their name alongside of it. Others will say like there'll be paintings of generals. It's like imagine sort of like an incredibly fine, well decorated palace, and eventually you join sort of like a massive throng of people heading down towards these large double doors, which as you approach open up into a huge dining hall. Tapestries flowing from the ceiling. With magical designs on them depicting battles in progress between swordsmen. The ceiling itself is decked out, is enchanted, so that it looks like a night sky
awesome.
with
very
depictions
Hogwarts.
of panic.
It is.
Yeah, it is very Hogwarts.
This reminds me of a school I once went to.
With the, yeah,
Witchcraft and Wizardry, pal. No.
it's got
Dragon Dumbledore. What?
but yeah, it's got like
Dragon door.
pictures of what look like different celestial bodies like rotating around each other. The occasional shooting star, which will turn into a firework of explosion on the walls, and the people on some of the tapestries that aren't fighting will react to what's happening in the ceiling, almost as if it's part of one massive enchantment.
Wow.
The tables themselves are of a burnished red wood of some sort. Like not burnished red, varnished red wood of some sort, and it almost looks like every table, which is probably about 20 foot wide and hundreds of feet long, is made out of one solid piece of wood.
That's
Like they've been
20
carved
foot-
from large
It's
trees.
20 foot wide. How do you get to the middle of the table?
You don't.
The food in the middle is just
It's
mage.
really
No,
moldy.
guys, mage hand sorted. Continue.
And yeah, at in all the tables are set up with massive piles of various different delicious looking food, around which are small, probably about shall we say 2 foot tall humanoids, all with wings on their backs, which seem to be taking these trays and serving them to people. Flying just above the surface of the table. And a few people that already sat down will sit down, and one of these things will come over, look at them, and they'll say, "Oh, please pass me that," and they'll bring over this large tray, carrying it to them. Can you all roll Arcana for me?
Definitely a homunculus.
It is, in fact, a homunculus.
Right, okay, I'm going to roll to see if I actually know it in real life.
Oh, that's
I
gross.
know that you've been wanting to use a
You just said
homunculus.
in real life, meaning in the game. Hey, Connor, you've gone full D&D.
I've definitely passed. What was it? Arcana 20.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Or non-natural 20. Awesome.
For what?
Arcana.
I'm not that bad at Arcana.
Dude, you're a sorcerer. You really. I mean, you're not quite Robin,
I'm not intelligent.
that has like a shit religion score, but you
Hey.
should probably have a high Arcana.
12.
You all recognise these as... So they are like homunculi. You would recognise them, but they don't look like the Monster Manual homunculi. They're dressed up in fine sort of waiter's clothes,
You can't see
and they
them.
don't have and they have masks over them.
Please say
Over
they
their
have
faces?
little like tuxes with
Yeah, they do.
white jackets.
They have white tux jackets. They can't talk, and they have a mirrored mask over their face, so you can't
Were
see
they
their
going to
faces.
talk until I did that and you went, nope!
They were, and now
cannot
they're
talk.
not. And they wear mirrored masks over their faces, but they will come over to you and ask you what.
Please make them talk.
No.
I recommend it.
All right, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Sure thing. Yeah.
I don't like this.
Some of them, you are shown to your tables by various different waiters, and some people are being shown to the tables by waiters. However, Gregor will turn to the six of you with you, and she's like, "You are quite lucky in that we are, due to both the invitation of you three and the honor that we'd have of having our first Dragonborn guests in the capital for hundreds of years, honored to be sitting fairly close to the Emperor himself, up at the far end of the hall. You may even be able to catch a glimpse of him."
I look at Nine with a like, ooh, kind of face.
But please do come with me. We at the top end of the table, we will have actual waiters. The homunculi are very, very, very good at their jobs. However, we will have proper service. However, there will be homunculi if you so wish. I did see you were quite excited by them.
Maybe
We just
don't
get the
know if that's the right
homunculi without masks.
No. He looks at you like, trust me, you don't want that. They're clean, but they don't look it.
Furry
They're
things.
so gross.
Homunculi gross.
I know.
But yeah, he
you're
leads you
polymorphing into next.
up this massive, massive long table, up through the central table. There are 5 tables across this hall. This hall is probably about 200 foot wide in total.
Yeah.
With large areas in between each table for mingling and meandering and talking, and walking up towards the top. And as you head towards the top, it just gets more and more grand. The tables themselves go from being laid with silver to being laid with gold to being laid with a mixture of various different things, including crystal goblets. You see some that appear to be made out of actual crystals themselves. You see others. You see candles floating above the tabletops in areas, moving around to keep lighting where it should be. And you head up to probably within about, say, 100 feet of the far end of this hall. It's probably about a 10-minute walk or so. It's massive, and there are thousands of people that have been invited to this. And as you do so, you see a large, solid gold table up at the very top, which currently is unoccupied. But Gregor will show you to all your seats. You're sitting sort of all in a long row. What order would you like to be sitting in?
Just before we sit down, I just see the big gold table and get a thought me like, do you reckon you could get that in the bag of holding?
I'll be like, oh, there's our table, guys.
You could not.
We can take the cutlery.
Yeah, Tholme would like to sit in between two large dragonborn.
Okay.
In between two large dragonborn, so that he's less likely to be noticed when he steals the cutlery and the goblets.
Yeah.
That's such
No,
a
fair.
good idea.
That is quite
We
a good
are
idea.
shit guests.
Yeah.
Shit
But yeah,
guests.
so I'm going to say you get sat in, it's going to be Ibathane. No, it won't. It'll be Raspar on the end, then Ibathane, then Nine, then Fyodor, then Tholme, then Alphubasa. Actually, no, it'll be, then Alphubasa.
So wait, who am I between?
You're between Fyodor and Alphubasa.
Cool.
It's probably wise to have 9 next to him. Keep him in check.
When you first sit down, he's not, and then Gregor comes over to Nine and is like, please sit next to Ibathane. Please. I want this to be...
Where's Gregor sat?
He's sat at the end, the other side of Alphubasa to Tholme.
So I'm sitting beside Ibathane and Fyodor.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
And I'm sat next to
Nine and Raspar.
Raspar.
yeah.
I like Raspar, actually. I want to ask him about his steamy armour.
Mm-hmm.
I want that steamy armor.
Oh, I'll bet you do.
So hot and steamy.
Oh, I want that steamy armor. It's actually smoky, technically. Call back to Sprocket 7. Hey, she's been real busy. She's now a suit of armor somehow.
Now she's stuck in the toe of this suit of armor.
Sorry.
Wow.
We all have a cold. You can probably hear. It is making doing the Dragonborn voices easier though, so that works out.
Sure it is.
So yeah, you sit down, and very soon everybody begins their seats. On the opposite side of this 20-foot table to you is a group of dwarves who are all sitting there, wearing massive braids in their beards and hair. Some of them actually have their hair woven into their beards and their beards woven into their hair to create vast sort of like
Space buns.
no, what's the like royal occasions, all the women where it's the competition who can have the stupidest hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a competition of who can have the stupidest hairdo, and some of them have them like to the point where it's like in vast sunbursts, with seemingly enchanted braids through them to make it look like actual rays of sunshine coming from their hair down onto the table and
Do
things
any
like
of them
that.
have them braided into a giant bow?
Highs or lows on that one, mate.
Highs.
Yes, they do.
Yeah!
One of them just has a massive bow, and he's got bright red hair, like ginger hair, so it looks like it's a bright red bow on his head.
Bow as in like a bow tie, or like a bow as in a shooty bow?
Bow tie.
So like something out of like the Who's and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Grunge.
Oh,
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Can one of them be like a giant hand and he moves his head, it's like waving at you? Like a high five?
Once again, highs or lows.
Loads.
Yes.
Can one of them be?
Actually, because I rolled a 0, or technically, no, I rolled, technically it's 100. Because I want it to be true, I'm going to say that's a 0. You can't roll a 0 on a D100, but I'm saying you can this time. You got a crit, basically, is what I'm saying.
Do any of them, this is the rest
But,
of the episode, do
wait,
any of them have a
one-
big braid that goes round one shoulder, around the back of their head, and then becomes a dragon?
In a sec. So yes, you at first you notice one of them has their hair turned into a massive hand. So when they look around, it looks like they're like waving.
Yes.
But you notice there's an empty seat beside them, and an identical dwarf comes along with his hair also braided into a hand, but the opposite hand. So when they sit down, it's like the left and right hand, and they sit down, look at each other, giggle, look at the rest of you, and then high five with their head hair.
Can they please, when we have to clap, can they be like hitting each other's heads?
Do they actually headbutt each other? When
No,
they do
because
it?
it's like their hair that's like it, and they just like hit each
That
other with
is
it.
magnificent.
And yes, one of them doesn't have it braided like a dragon. One of them does have it braided into like a single dreadlock that goes around him and down one side, like the Jabba the Hutt Twi'lek.
Oh my
Bib
God.
Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna, yeah.
And then the guy next to him has his hair like pointing up, and it must be like 4 foot tall.
This actually
And
can't
it's-
be the rest of the
and it's-
episode. It
and
can't
it's-
be.
Is his name Marge?
And it's veiny as fuck, and he's got a massive cock on his head.
This session has
And the
been
hands-
so penis
The
heavy.
hands can move.
This session has been so penis, like genital heavy. I don't understand.
Does one of them?
No.
That's what.
At this.
Can we wave at the guy? Like, can we like give them a nod at the
Yes.
and kind of wave?
Yeah,
at
of course. They'll wave back with their heads. Oh God, I regret this.
Them? Can we
But
props that we actually have to shout
with
at them?
that,
Hello.
a number of
Not Alphabassa. Who's the guy with the big schlong?
Oh, Fyodor.
It's
Fyodor.
not Alphabassa. I thought it was the joke was Alphabassa. Was
Oh,
it?
Alphabassa.
Does Alphabassa look at the guy with the big
I want
dick
to
in
say,
his head?
I've
like-
literally never said that any of them have a big schlong. You were just like big codpiece. I
No,
think
100% must do. He's 7 foot.
actually, I think you'll find they're lizards. I don't know if lizards have normal penises. I'm gonna look. I don't.
No,
wanna
but everything
Google
would
that.
know though, because he's got one.
I've got a dick.
True. Don't do you?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
probably. It's,
Don't take that character choice
and
away
it's
from him.
and it's very nice.
Average size.
Tholme has
Can
told
we actually
me.
quit with the genital talk?
Tholme has told me
'Cause-
it's
'cause-
perfectly normal looking.
Theoretically, we should be a relative. No, I was going to say we should be family friendly, but we
really
took.
not.
Yeah, no.
No,
Fuck that.
I think we have the explicit tag. We should.
fuck you and your family.
Wow.
Oh God, we apologise for
We-
any.
We apologise
insults.
for James.
Your family.
You bastard. But no, as everybody appears to have taken their seats, there's a lack of those flying homunculi around. However, as you take your seats and as everyone is seated and it begins to quiet down slightly, in front of you materializes from the table itself a small, what you can probably with your previous Arcana checks tell is sort of like a wooden golem, which will look at you and say, "What would you like?" And throughout the rest of the night, they'll bring you various different foods. They'll bring you various different drinks.
I like to think that Ibothane loves. We never got into this, but I imagine what food we like. I imagine Ibothane just has like no problem with spice whatsoever.
Oh, why?
100% unaffected by spice because it's hot.
But you're a lightning boy.
I like fire.
Oh, true, you do fire. Yeah, you constantly throughout.
There is no lightning-based food.
Sour.
Yeah, maybe.
That's so great with sour. Actually, it's weird.
Fair. So yeah, these wooden golems bring you various different foodstuffs. They bring you basically whatever you want. If there's something that's not on the table you particularly fancy, they will sink back into the table and rematerialize a minute or two later, carrying a small silver platter or gold platter of whatever you requested.
So they can sink into the table.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to ask for the blood of our enemies, what would we be?
They will bring you a very, very bloody steak.
Oh.
Of
Yuan tea.
Yuan tea, yeah.
No, I've had a cup of tea, thank you.
Oh.
No,
I don't know
they'll-
how I feel about
they'll-
No, it's
that.
good the second time.
They'll bring you a very, very bloody steak, and they'll say, "This is
Bitch who knocked into you in the market.
this is finest snake meat. We assume that is what you mean."
I actually want one of those. Can I have one of those?
And it looks good, yeah. And they'll give them to you,
I
and
feel a bit.
it's delicious. It's kind of gamey.
It feels a bit like cannibal-y eating it, because that's like a creature with sentience and stuff, and we're eating it.
No, they
I feel
didn't
that.
say Yuan tea. It's just snake.
Snake meat.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh,
Pile into
okay.
it. Num 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 num.
I want to ask for something ridiculous now. Give me a minute. Huh?
Dragon meat.
No,
I
they've got-
would like triceratops steak.
I am afraid that no longer exists. Triceratops have been extinct for many, many
That's
years.
ridiculous. There was one in the Colosseum earlier.
Turn someone into one. Yeah, kill him.
That man over there.
The guy with a massive dick in his head.
No, I can't. I can't do that for another 8 hours.
Can we ask for Craig? Can we-
What the fuck?
Where is
Cajun
Craig?
roasted Craig.
Where is Craig?
He'll be somewhere. He's with Selenia.
No, Selenock. No, the door opens, the Emperor's door opens, and Craig walks out, like, sits at the
I'm
table.
lost.
It's like, my empire.
Ibathane, you've taken the piss for far too long. Smite him!
Or he just walks up to the table, sits down, takes a drink, stands up and goes,
Just like massive applause from the whole room. Like a reply of
Shut up, Craig.
"Shut up, Craig."
And everyone looks at
He's here.
everyone just fucking looks at you like,
It's the devil! Get him!
I don't
This
know
was
what I
a
want
trap
to do.
all along.
Can I have a menu, please?
No.
They don't supply a menu.
They'll tell you different food types.
I would
if you want
actually fucking love the meat of Yuan tea or
to. They won't give you
what are the
anti.
other things called?
Snake. Just a
No,
snake.
the dudes, the
Abominations?
Oh,
gangly arm dudes.
They're also you anti,
Yeah,
but they won't bring
used
them
to
to
be
you.
human, my dude.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, that's a bit cannibal-y.
If you request that, they'll just look at you and be like, "We don't serve that. I'm sorry."
Can I have
Or
giraffe
no,
steak?
we don't serve that. I'm sorry.
Can I have giraffe steak?
Yes, we're gonna skip through all the different requests.
Can I-
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, that's interesting. Not only do I get a giraffe steak, but I now know giraffes exist.
they do.
Can I have
I just said skipping
can I get-
through.
You know, you get like octopus salads. Can I get a kraken salad?
That's pretty cool.
No, you
Oh,
can't.
can I get in on that?
No, you
I'll
can't.
split it with you. Is it like tapas?
Mid request,
Oh,
you are interrupted.
so you know how like it's France.
You are interrupted.
Can I get? Cause
Interrupted
have
by
fries. Can I get a?
giant horns.
Can I get?
Can I get a glass of immortality?
Grung salad, please. Just shouting over the horns.
Can you make a wisdom save for me?
A grung salad?
Can you make a wisdom save for me?
All of us or just him?
Just him.
Please make it me. Please
Wait,
make
I'm
it
gonna
me.
double
The
check.
trumpets go off. Everyone in the room goes silent, and you just hear Thelmy go, "A grung salad!" Oh shit! Everyone's silent.
A what save?
No, I was like, I want a Yuan tea steak. Quiet.
I don't care if it used to be human.
Yeah. Can you please make a wisdom save for me?
It's not good. It's not good. 3.
Your mouth continues to move, but no sound comes out. Anyone that tries to talk, your mouth continues to move, but no sound comes out. As a silence spell is cast upon anybody that tries to make any noise, as these giant horns built into the actual walls themselves blast do 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 do.
What?
One of the dwarves who is the hand tear guy, like someone just jumps and grabs him and RKOs him onto a table.
So this giant do 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 announces the arrival of the
I didn't mean for it to be the John Cena theme. It's just the first tune that
Oh,
came
you
out.
did.
And as this silence spell comes across anybody that begins to talk, a fanfare of horns and a massive announcement comes as the top table itself begins to mildly glow, and this glow gets brighter and brighter and brighter from the gold itself of the table. And it gets to the point where it's almost like, if you look at it, it's almost like looking into a sun. And then as you all look away, you notice the light through your eyelids get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, quite much quicker than it brightened up. And as you look back, it never quite goes away, but the light itself seems to be coming from elsewhere. A golden figure, you can't quite tell how tall it is, stands behind the center of the table with a number of people either side of him. Can you all roll perception checks?
Ooh. Oh, fucking hell.
Fuck 8.
10.
7?
Not too bad. So you know, the main thing that catches your eye is the golden figure in the center, and all of you try and look at him as this can only be one man. This can only be the Emperor himself, and you continue. It's bizarre. You can see his figure, and you can see his outline. You can see the golden light coming from himself. But if you look at his face, he doesn't have placeable features. You can see an eyes, a mouth, a nose. You can see his hair. But if asked to describe to anybody what he looks like, you could not give a description other than this golden light coming from him. One moment you look at him and he appears to be a half-elf. You look away, you look back, he appears to be human. You look away, you look back, he appears to be full elf. You look away, you look back, and he appears to be somehow a particularly tall halfling, a particularly tall gnome. So occasionally he has a beard, occasionally he has long black flowing hair, but you can never quite place what he looks like. So you give up looking at this man, and you look at the figures either side of him. To either side of him, you have two figures one wearing a black tunic and one wearing a white tunic, and each of them has the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet stitched in across their heart. One wearing the black has it stitched in white, and one wearing the white has it stitched in black. And the two of them are standing either side of him. Each of them has a sword at their waist. And then further out, you see various dignitaries, and this table is probably about, as I said, the actual... it's almost as wide as the room, which is about 200 feet wide. So as you look out across the people, and you're right in the center, it becomes quite difficult to see the people at either end. Partially because of the fact they're too far away, and partially because everything is just wanting you to go back to looking at this golden light coming from the man that must be the god of the empire, the emperor himself. And he draws all attention from the room, and then a moment later, you notice that you're actually all standing. You're all standing to greet this man, and you look around, and everybody in this room is standing. You don't remember standing up, but a moment later, you hear all of you, every single one of you in the back of your head, a voice say, "Please be seated."